Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning with Julie Bragg and Greg McQuaid.
All right. Hey, thanks, Jen.
All right, make sure your retirement is relaxing by making the right choices now.
Well, Bill Losey joins us to reveal the 10 biggest mistakes people make when retiring, so you can make sure you avoid them. Bill, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. It's good to be here.
Thanks for coming in. All right, Bill, you know, a lot of people, baby boomers, are looking at retiring right now. Thankfully, you know, we're not thinking of retiring.
But I'm already thinking I'm probably not doing what I should be doing.
How can we avoid those pitfalls?
Well, you know, baby boomers are typically between the ages of 43 and age 62. Fact of the matter is, if you want to make retirement a reality, you need to save money, okay?
Yeah.
So this year, I mean, people have something called a 401k plan or 403b plan. The maximum contribution is $15,500. If you're over age 50, there's something called a catch-up contribution. You can actually save an extra $5,000 if you haven't been maxing out all along. The key here is to save money and to save early and to save often to make retirement a reality.
You hear it so often.
I know. So you actually have a list of the top 10 mistakes that
Yes, we
people
do.
make?
Yep.
All right, let's get started.
Well, biggest mistake is listening to the wrong people. I mean, I do a lot of retirement and investment workshops. I see people all the time telling me about what they're doing. I'm like, you know, where'd you hear that? So I'll hear something like this. You know, my sister's ex-husband's brother-in-law's former neighbor used to be an accountant, said I should do this. You know, something like that. Or, you know, or I read in a financial magazine that all retirees should do this. You know, retirement is a real big issue now because the first boomer just turned 62 beginning January 1st, just started taking Social Security. So everybody's out there saying that they're a retirement expert. Everybody has an opinion about what you should do, but just because they have an opinion doesn't mean you should necessarily follow that advice.
Because people, I think that's just a reflection. People want some advice on what to do.
Well, the average person actually talks to 4 people they know about retirement. And I guess my question to them is that person independently wealthy? Is that person a financial professional? There's too much to know to leave it to luck and guesswork. There really is.
All right, Bill,
All right, here's your
what's next
second
on the
one,
list?
not understanding the tax consequences.
Yeah, this one's a huge one because, you know, there are investments that are, you know, tax-free, tax-deferred, as well as taxable. Most people have no idea exactly what they're doing. So they just start saving money. They have no idea what the ramifications are of what it is, you know, when they take it out. I think it's also really important. I talked about, you know, investing money in your 401k plan. Well, when you take it out, it's all going to be taxable. Well, there's something called tax diversification or tax allocation. So now there's a new investment called a Roth IRA, a type of an account, or a Roth 401k, where you're putting money in after tax, but when you take it out, it comes out income tax-free. So people should be thinking about what tax bracket they might be in when they retire to potentially have both taxable as well as tax-free income for tax diversification.
Oh, wow.
What about the pension?
Pension, huge option. When people retire, if they're lucky enough to have a pension, they're forced to make a choice, which is, do I take the single option, which means I get the highest payout for my life, and when I die, it stops, or do I take a smaller option, which is like a joint option? So if Julie and I were married, I perhaps would take a joint option. When I die, Julie continues to get some sort of a stipend for the rest of her life. The problem I see is that a lot of people will take the highest monthly payout, and when they die, it stops, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because a lot of times people will have life insurance, you know, to help, you know, make that former payment. The problem is they often do not get enough life insurance to make up what that former pension payment is. So I see a lot of men who choose that single life option because they're going to beat the system, they're going to, you know, take all the money. But I've seen situations where people actually get a monthly pension for a month or two, pass away, and they're done, and the spouse gets nothing. The spouse then gets a life insurance check, but there is not enough life insurance to generate an income for the rest of her life.
All right, we only have a minute left. We're going to have to get through these other ones pretty quick, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, another one is misunderstanding what Medicare or Social Security pays for. I mean, a lot of times people will come to me and they'll say, hey, you know, I've got a $6,000 nursing home bill, and I was really surprised to find out that Medicare or Social Security doesn't pay for this. You know what? Government's not going to take care of you. So you need to look at long-term care insurance. I think another big one is thinking that risk just involves losing principal. There's something I talk about called the silent risk. It's always there, but you never see it. It's inflation. So, and this is going to be bad news to start Virginia this morning, but if you retire today, let's say with $50,000, even at a real low inflation rate of, say, 3%, you need to have double the income in 20 years just to maintain the standard of living that you have today. So you need to keep some money invested in the stock market. You can't just get defensive and go all to bonds and cash when you retire.
Well, great advice, Bill. We appreciate it, and
We're
we've
going
always
to
look it
put
up.
all your other mistakes that we need to avoid on our website at WTVR.com so folks can get more info.
Bill, thanks for the advice.
You're welcome.
All right, nice to see you.